Hey, and welcome back. It's noon and 2 hours are behind us of super interesting program. I was jumping from stream to stream, from studio to studio, and I wish I had more eyes and more ears because this was so much fascinating content. I saw Daniel was also in the academic entrepreneurship stream all the time. So, Daniel, tell me, how was it?
Well, it's always interesting, and I have to say, in academia, that's where my heart is. I really enjoy that, and I love seeing like the innovative power coming from there. However, what I learned in the last 2 hours is it's complicated. What does it mean? It means there's a lot of smart people and a lot of amazing ideas. However, being in very olden structures, it's quite tricky sometimes spinning out these companies. However, there's so much potential, and like JFK said, we choose to do the things not because they're easy, but because it's hard. And I truly believe that's one of Europe's greatest moonshots, is to get the spin outs going a lot quicker, a lot easier, to really foster entrepreneurship. So it's complicated, but we'll get it solved, I hope.
Fantastic. You have fantastic guests, and I'm sure that you figured out some really great advices and next moves that will also move Europe closer to our competitors in this sense. Thanks very much, Daniel. Moving to Peter. Hi, Peter.
Hello. Hi.
Do we have a winner?
We do have a winner. We had five big ideas. They had 5 minutes to share their ideas, and then 10 minutes from our jury members, 11 jury members, so 15 minutes altogether, and we have a winner. But you know what? I don't even know who that winner is because it's top secret. We have a winner, it's top secret, and we'll only know who the winner is. I think it's next month on the 16th of June in Ljubljana Castle. Big event, big prestigious event, and we'll find out who that lucky or well-deserved winner is. But yeah, a really intriguing and insightful morning together. Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic. You have a big international jury. Was there any arguments? Were there, interesting discussions?
I think it was very diplomatic. It was a very diplomatic kind of event today. If there were any squabbles or any arguments, we didn't see them. But going by the look on the faces of the jury members, they were hard at it in terms of thinking, in terms of trying to decide who they feel should actually make it as a winner, because it's really not easy. And as we kept hearing the ideas, naturally it got more and more difficult to decide who actually has that edge to make it to become the winner.
Fantastic. Thanks, Peter, and talk to you in a few minutes. Now back to Stoyan.
Hey guys.
Stoyan, I have one question for you. How was the feeling of introducing yourself in the stream?
It was a little weird.
How was your back?
But I hope people really enjoyed what the whole session was, because I think you guys made a great job kind of putting us all together, because we start with Zoltan, who is a natural communicator, he's a natural speaker, but he gave us such a great perspective on what could startups learn from corporates and what could corporates learn from startups. And it's not about being a great planner. It doesn't have to come at the price of not being a good executor. Actually, planning and execution are two things that can go hand in hand, and that was the main point of Zoltan's presentation, which is obviously something that's very close to my heart. In my session, we talk about the unsexy truth about startup success. Yes, we like to talk about how fancy it is to entrepreneur, to go to conferences, to pitch, to wear your blazer and just look good, be your own boss. But the truth is, it's actually really, really hard. It could be lonely, could be difficult. So I try to share some practical advice coming from the research, from the study of over 50 entrepreneurs from New Europe, this region that we are in. And afterwards, we'll move to Chris Out, another amazing person that you put in the program. And one of the main messages that I got out of it was, you gotta be smart. How can you make your things easy for you? Why do you overcomplicate it? How can we make things easy so we can really focus on the things that matter most? And something that was really interesting that came out of the Q&A by the end is that Chris Out is actually exceptionally good in measuring and tracking his own time. Literally, he knows where every minute of his time goes. So he knows I spent 1 hour, 33 minutes working on this today. Then he does an analysis of all this, and then he optimizes. It might be a little bit too much for some people that are not so detail-oriented, but I really, really appreciate the point about measuring and tracking.
Stoyan, I'm sure this is all music to your ears about productivity and how to enhance that. So I'm sure you enjoy it. We surely did. Thanks so much for your update. We're now focusing on a really lovely session coming up, lovely from all perspectives, all senses, visual, smell, taste. And I'll pass on to Anita to tell us what we're looking ahead of us.
Thank you very much, Diane. We will talk about business manners. So I'm asking you guys, how good do you think you are at it?
I think I'm pretty decent.
I made a really mistake. So when I met your guest at the table, I made I think it's a rookie mistake. So I didn't I offered my hand across the table. So this was a mistake. I didn't know that. So I'm human. I'm making mistakes. So I need to learn.
Well, that's
obviously.
why we're here to learn.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have a guest who will explain everything. And I think from now on, we will not make those mistakes, not just the three of us, but all of you also being with us. It is so nice to have an expert on this field, etiquette consultant, Miss Simona Lichnik-Oczko. Hello and welcome.
Hello, it's so nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you too for being with us, because I have this feeling that we are all in business, startups, scale-ups, entrepreneurs, and we all think that we know it. When it comes to business manners, we know everything, and then we are in a situation when we meet someone or we eat with someone, like on a business lunch or something, and then we realize we don't really know everything, and we're just looking around, trying to find out what to do, and this is why you're here. First of all, in the last year, or let's say 2 years, a lot has changed when it comes to business manners. Saying hello, shaking hand, maybe with fist, with elbow, this is awkward to all of us. So please tell us, what is the right thing to do?
Yes, well, as you know, through history, standard handshake was a formal greeting. It was done when business was done, when you were introduced to somebody, or just saying hello. Yes. Now, as you said, in the past year, they are telling us, please don't do that anymore. Don't touch each other. Don't get too close to each other. But still, personally, especially in business, we have to maintain contact. Now, I'm sure that people already saw on television or social media those very popular fists, as you said it, and also those elbow bumps, That's for us who do things in etiquette field is quite, I am trying to find a nice word, but please don't use that. If we are asked not to get too close to each other, to shake hands, I have to get even closer to you, to touch your elbow with my elbow. And there's one other moment. We always sneeze and cough at this place. So why would I share my germs with yours? So don't do that. It mostly looks funny. It does not look respectful. So what can we do? Some people just nod. Some people hide their hands behind their back. Yeah. And it's really important to look person in the eye, nod, say hello, and that's when the communication can begin. Mm-hmm. Some people also use this old namaste, yes, and you can see it on television, and politicians, they're using that. So there are options, but please do not degrade. Do not act disrespectful to people around you, because handshake is a sign of good intention.
Yes.
Is really showing you I respect you. You know, people make fun and they say I come in peace, because handshake comes from history where you were hiding your weapon. So I'm offering you my hand and I have good intentions. That's what handshake means, and a good firm handshake can make a really good impression.
So we came to the first impression.
Okay.
I'm also working a little bit in public speaking. Just another question. Is it okay if I ask someone on the other side if we could shake hands? Is that okay?
Of course. We live in these crazy times for the past year, and we have to respect everyone's decision. So if you end up with me, for example, and I'm extending my hand, and you are not so sure because you see me for the first time, it is okay to say, excuse me, I am going handshake free, I'm being careful or something like that. So I have to respect your decision and say, okay, I understand. Of course you can ask. Some of us still shake hands with those who shake hands. And I think it's really important to remember that, as always, good hand hygiene is the key message, and that's it.
Of course. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm also a hugger, you know? And I'm having real big difficulties because when I meet someone and I know him, I would like to hug him, and then I have to keep the distance. But now we are getting more to it, you know. Maybe those old times are coming back. I'm really hoping so. So thank you very much. And let's go back to first impression. It is very important to make a good first impression, and we only have a short time, a short period. They say it's about 7 seconds, if it's correct. What can we do now? Let's say it. We cannot shake hands because that was one of the things, but we still have another options, you know, to make a good first impression. What are they?
Well, you have to have always on your mind that people will look at you more rather than listen to you. So it's really important to know what to do with your body.
Okay.
So in business or in personal life, confidence is something that we all want to see in people. We cooperate, or we just hang out. It's really attractive when you see a confident person. And that's something you can do just by your body posture. So stand straight, look me in the eye.
Okay.
You will, I'm sure, if you haven't already noticed, people are looking down at their smartphones, talking with you, looking around. That's not respectful. And I'm not sure, what are you here with me? Do I have your attention? Please, when I'm introduced to you, so our first contact is, I will look at you. In the next second or two, we will say hello. Please introduce yourself with your first and last name. I'm not just Simona. So I'm Simona, one of, 4,000 in Slovenia living. I'm Simona and my last name. And you always use those first seconds to say, where are you coming from? The company or whatever the occasion is, and what's your function. So in business, that's really important. And you have only 5-6 seconds to do that. Practice. There's a mirror at home, stand there, don't be shy, be confident. That's it.
Nonverbal communication is very important.
Yes,
Even more
really.
than verbal, they say, because it does not lie.
No, I can lie to you now. No problem.
I know.
But my body will tell you the truth.
Yes. Well,
Really.
there's a lot of thoughts, you know, that are going through my mind right now. And I'm sure that they're so good to hear, because we all need that. Now we will, in a minute, we will walk to this other studio where we have prepared something special. But, you know, just to have clear of that, about phones, we are really using them. They're a part of our body, our lives. But when we go to the meeting, to the business meeting, is it enough just to put it in the table, you know, and not look at it, or should we just put it away?
Smartphones, their place is in your bag or in your pocket. They're not supposed to be on table unless you are expecting an important call. Then you can leave it on your lap but its sound must be off. So you will see when the person you're waiting for is calling you, then you excuse yourself and go out.
Okay.
It's really ridiculous when you're at important meeting and then someone is, scrolling down social media and you are presenting, I don't know, information. So please don't do that. Unless it is information you need because of the occasion while you're sitting together, then please put them away. You are there for a reason. And your phones are not the reason.
Okay. They say if you have a phone on the table, it means that maybe there is something more important than you right now.
Yes.
Taking time for being with me, and it's not respectful, right?
Of course not.
Okay. Now, I would like to invite you to the table that we have prepared, please.
Yes.
Miss Simona, come with me. We have a very, very nice table here with all the cutlery. And please have a seat.
Thank you.
And I will have a seat with you. This is something that you have prepared for us.
Yes, I have.
And I think it's about time to learn some table manners.
Great.
Because we are so many times invited to business lunch or dinner. And when we come to such beautiful table, we have all the cutlery. We have like 2 forks, 2 knives, 2 spoons. Then we have a spoon and a fork here. And all the glasses, and sometimes we are, just like looking, what are we supposed to do here? So I would be so grateful if you will now, for once more, learn and teach us what to do.
I will do my best because this is an etiquette field that is the widest and the theme that we need a lot of hours to go through, but just basic things. Table etiquette, dining etiquette, you can charm everyone around the table. Or you can be very nervous and lose your confidence when you, just like you said, when you sit down and you, oh my God, what's this? What shall I do? How do I eat this? My clients often tell me that they're confused. Shall I take my jacket off? Can I drink alcohol? How many alcohol can I drink? Who will pay it? It's all really important to know.
Yeah.
And it's world known that you can look like $1 million, but when you arrive on business lunch, if you are, like a pig at the table, that's where the all attention will go.
Yeah.
So, in here you can see this is a really simple continental style setting. Why? Because we are in Slovenia. There are different styles, but since we're in Slovenia, we are using, or should I say, we should all use this style when we are dining.
Okay.
And main thing when we are talking about dining etiquette is that we always have to remember that it's not about food, but it's all about people who are dining with us.
Oh, that's so nice.
We have to know that those skills, when we have them, when we know what to do with them, then I can, I have this freedom to enjoy conversation with you, be social, and be confident about what's in front of me, and not being sweaty and thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do now?
Yes.
So, first thing you did was that you sat to the table from the left side, and that's the correct way.
Okay.
And also, on your left side, you will find a napkin. In restaurants, mostly, you will find these cotton napkins.
Okay.
And first thing you do when you sit down, you have to put your napkin in your lap.
In my lap.
Yes.
Not here, right?
No, please don't do that. Even though some people think it's funny, and this is not a handkerchief, and this is not, if you're hot, this is not a towel, this is a napkin, okay? So, and you put it down, that where she opens your napkin, turn it around. It has to look in that way.
Oh my God, this is also important. Okay.
You know why? When you eat a sauce or something and you feel it, you have to dab it. You open, you dab, dab, and you close. So you wouldn't see any stains of my lipstick or sauce or something. It doesn't mean you have to spit all around. Just do it gently. And really, you don't wipe face when you're eating. We dab. We try to be as elegant as possible, okay? Because, you are looking at me and I'm looking at you. People do look at each other. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So, basic cutlery setting, right? There are 3 rules when it goes to cutlery. We always use we always start using cutlery from the outside and we make our way in.
Okay.
And from the top to bottom.
Okay.
Talking about dessert. I would just try to demonstrate now. I would like to see how do you hold your cutlery first, since we are learning.
Yeah.
Okay, just use knife, please. Let's say. I would just like to see how you're using.
I'm using the now.
Yes,
okay.
whichever you want. Okay.
Okay.
And let's say you have a steak or a piece of, what will you do?
Okay, I will cut it, right?
Okay, great. In business world, I often see people doing this.
Oh, okay.
And then I see this. This is not a shuffle.
Yeah.
And you are not going to stab anyone, you know. It's really difficult to use. I don't even know how people can cut anything, but they surely can. So it's really simple, okay? Just the way you are doing it.
Okay.
So, in Slovenia, continental style of dining, it should be done. We eat maximum 3 or 4 bites.
Okay.
And then we take a break.
Oh, really?
Because you are here for a reason. You know, in business world, you do not take business partners for lunch because they're hungry and you want to feed them.
Yeah.
There's always a reason. You are signing a contract, you are celebrating a success, or you're having a job interview, whatever.
Yes.
So it's not about the lunch. Focus is about people around us. And I have to know how to talk to you. So I have to take a break.
Okay.
But if you want to go by rules, 3 or 4 bites, take a pause.
Okay.
Now, I don't want service to take my plate away.
Yes.
That's why I have to put my cutlery in the letter A. It means I'm open, I'm still eating, so please don't take it away. Or if I have to take a phone call, go to a restroom, it stays the same. It means I'm coming back.
This is the clear sign.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I would dab my mouth, have a sip of wine or something, or water, and then I will continue talking to you.
Okay.
Right.
So when you're talking, you're not eating.
Of course.
And when you're eating, you shouldn't be talking.
Of course not. Even if it's a really important question on the other side, and you really have to say it, you're really eager to say it, please don't do it. Okay. It's not healthy, but it looks really gross. Okay. And don't, full mouth, and it will go quicker if I drink a little water. Don't do that. No, don't do that. No, they will wait for you just for seconds. So when we finish eating, there is a position of cutlery that means that they can take the plate.
It away.
Yes, and it's, if you can imagine, this would be a clock. It is 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes, so then they will take that away. And maybe one thing about knives, blade of knife always has to look toward me and not to my neighbor, because it's a sign of aggression in etiquette. So it is,
unless you want to give the sign of aggression.
Well, you can if you have to, but maybe not. So I would, yes, one thing I just remember, on our left side we have a bread plate.
Yep.
This is common in restaurants, and there is a little knife. And when it comes to bread, I can see a lot of people making that huge mistake.
Okay.
They take bread, and there is a butter, and you butter it,
Yeah.
and then you take it and you eat it.
Yeah.
That's fine when you're at home with your kids having breakfast. But in business world, you have to break bread in pieces. So
Okay.
you break one piece, take a amount of butter, and put it in your mouth.
Okay.
Yes.
Very important.
Salad, when they serve salad, it's always on the left side. So you won't be confused, this is your salad, no, it's mine salad. People in restaurants are not sure which salad is theirs.
Yeah.
Salad is on the left, and my glasses are on the right.
Okay, use left salad and right glasses.
Yes.
Okay, this is very important. Now, we were talking yesterday with Janne, who is an expert on wine and how to drink, how to use glasses, which glasses, and how to drink wine. Just in a short, because we went through this, how to hold it. These are glasses, we have 3 different glasses: white wine, red wine, and water.
Yes, when you're preparing a table setting, glass for water always stands where the main knife is.
Okay.
And then it depends on what will you be eating, how many glasses will be there.
Okay.
White wine, red wine, and sparkle wine.
Okay.
That is not a part of the setting, because you will be probably offered before you come, or as a dessert or something. They will bring it to the table. When there is a stem, you have to hold it by the stem. The lower you hold your glass, more sophisticated you look.
Okay.
Please don't do that. Not
Yeah.
just because of fingerprints, but because of the temperature of the wine. No?
Okay.
You can clink. I can clink with you.
Okay.
You're my neighbor. And my right neighbor, but you never do it across the table. Also, like Urban told earlier, we do not shake hands across the table, and you also don't reach to the people. Okay, cheers, cheers. We
Really?
don't do that. You just
Oh.
raise your glass up to here. You look again somebody in the eye,
Yeah.
and you just nod,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yes.
So no spilling, no
Yes. Yeah.
reaching across, and that's not really nice to see.
I didn't really know that I couldn't, toast across
No.
the table. This is very important,
No, just
really.
left side and right side. If you would be sitting there,
Yeah.
we would just do like this. I'm talking about really, really formal etiquette,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you start using cutlery, it never goes down on tablecloth again
Okay.
during the meal, all right? So we have a resting position, and when we're done, and we always use it, like I said. And if we are finished, you know, when they clean the table and
Yeah.
there's still one fork left, well, that's a sign that I didn't do something wrong. So there
Okay.
was a mistake, but
Okay.
it happens. It's
It
okay.
happens. Okay.
It's important not to embarrass yourself, especially not embarrass people around you. So if you would spill a glass of red wine here,
Yeah.
I would just act like I didn't see it. Not, oh my God, what did you see? Come on, we all saw what she
Yeah.
did. You don't have to point out that.
happens.
You
It
know.
happens.
Oh, wrists, yes. Always just wrists
Oh,
on the table.
am I doing it right?
Yes,
Okay.
not this, not
Elbows.
lying.
What about putting it in the lap? It's okay.
No, in Slovenia, no. In
Oh, just-
continental style, we
Okay.
you always put.
Okay, when you sit at the table, you give your wrist
Yes,
to the table, and that's it.
Sorry, just one thing. If they clean the table and we're waiting for coffee,
Yeah.
for example, then I'm talking to you. I can put my elbows on table, but when there is something in front of us,
Then you don't.
we don't do that.
Okay.
Yes.
We have, I think, just a minute or two. Coffee.
Yes.
You know, we always drink coffee or get a coffee. Maybe just have a meeting, buy coffee or not eating anything. There was always how to use the spoon. When you put sugar in it, what should you do with the spoon after?
Two mistakes are repeating over and over again. These bags with sugar,
Yeah.
moisture can do such funny things. And then people start doing this, when I'm talking to you, yes, it's, no, please don't do that. We don't make any noises. No, I'm looking to you and I'm
Okay.
doing this. So
Yeah.
as quiet as possible. No noises are allowed at table if
Okay.
not necessary. And then there's this spoon. And then people make a whirlpool in
Yeah.
stirring their tea or coffee. No. If you can imagine, this is again a clock from 6 to 12. Gently, nicely.
Sure.
And then when you're done, don't do that.
Okay.
Again, noise. You don't know what...
How about-
No, you never lick the spoon. You don't lick cutlery at all.
Okay.
I don't have to look at your tongue during business lunch, so please don't. You just do this, and you put it down, and you take it, and you drink it.
And enjoy it.
It's really simple. No noises.
Oh.
And don't show me your tongue, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. This was really useful. And I'm grateful for having this experience with you. It's such a nice table. I hope someday we will eat something
Yes,
together
me
and you
too,
will tell
me
me
too.
if I'm doing it right.
Me too.
Now, when I'm excused, because I will be excused from you now, what do? I take...
You
an
pinch in the middle. You pinch.
I pinch.
Yes,
Oh,
and
pinch
you
it?
leave it on your left side of the
On the
plate.
left side?
Yes, and that's it. You don't have to
I
fold
have
it.
to lift
yes.
a little chair because I don't want to.
Yes,
Then I
and then
stand
you
up.
stand out.
Yeah.
You don't stand out like this,
Okay.
right? Okay.
But
yeah,
nicely.
just stand out,
Okay.
and that's it.
And now
yes.
when I will say thank you, I would like to shake your hand.
Yes.
Thank you
It was a
very
pleasure.
much. It
Thank
was
you.
a really pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You will stay with us here.
Yes.
I will leave you now because I have another guest waiting for me, and we'll be talking about Slovenian cuisine
Great.
and food.
Great.
So welcome to
Thank you.
be
Thank you.
here and watch us. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. So I'm going back to my studio, to my comfortable sofa, where I have my guest waiting for me. We will shake hands, right?
Yes.
Hello, Leon. Nice to have you here. Please sit down.
Nice to meet you. Nice to be here.
This is a young chef, really young chef, from Rajh restaurant.
Yes.
Leon Pintaric, welcome. First question that I have for you, what does it take to become such an important person, a chef in a restaurant at such a young age?
Well, I had a luck. I was born into a family-owned restaurant. I was born actually in the kitchen because I was constantly moving in the kitchen and seeing what our chefs prepared in my childhood. Yeah, I had this privilege where I can be a part of a family-owned restaurant since generations.
I think asking you if you like food, it's not appropriate because I know you do.
Sure do.
Cooking, of course, too. But still, you're working at a Rajh restaurant. This is a very known Slovenian restaurant. There have been 4 generations. You are the 5th, right?
Yes.
Okay. How does it feel to step in such big shoes, let's say, and continue the tradition?
Yeah, it's a big challenge for me, which I already got used to it because I'm working in our kitchen for 6 years now.
Okay.
But we have a lot of help. I mean, I have a lot of help from my parents, how to do other stuff besides the kitchen.
Yeah.
I got a lot of recipes from my grandmother, grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that your grandma is your role model.
Yeah, actually, my grandmother. She passed away in 2017, but she was still 2016, still in the kitchen. She was 94, still peeling potatoes, and that's why she's my role model. Standing in the kitchen for 70 years, actually a little bit more.
Yeah, well, it's such a nice story.
Yeah.
We're talking about tradition in Rajh kitchen, but still, you are a new power, new generation. What is it new in Rajh kitchen since you came, and what is still traditional?
Yeah, well, I try to implement new recipes, but I try to take always a little bit of our old recipes or from my grandmother's recipe. I try to make them a little bit lighter since people are used to it nowadays. I try to I like to travel a lot with my family.
Okay.
We are a big travel family where we implement new stuff, what we see in the restaurants.
That's great.
And then compare it to our plates and then try always something new, what we learn from our travels. Yeah.
Slovenia as a food destination is getting more and more known. People are really coming to Slovenia because of its cuisine. I know you have a lot of experience with guests coming abroad. What do they feel and think about our food from your perspective?
Yeah, I think we have a very big luck because we are out of town, we are out of cities, we are in the village. We are approximately 2 hours from Ljubljana. So yeah, away from the cities. So we have this privilege where we can show guests, yeah, we are here. You can feel at home, relaxed, and feel the atmosphere of the tradition. And now something new, some new plates and.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk going on about local ingredients, how important it is to use it. I'm sure you're using it too.
Yeah, sure. That's our motto. That's for years already that we connect with the local producers and local products, which are also the backbone of our cuisine or restaurant.
Yeah, you have really great things to be proud of also, because you are in Michelin Bib Gourmand guide, which is very important, of course. Then you at the GoMEO you have 15 points. We were talking about it yesterday. They're up to 20 points, so 15 is a very, very good grade. You're also a member of JRE, or as you said in Slovene, JRE. This is an honor, but also an obligation that you have to fulfill. How?
Yeah, what I said before, you have to cooperate with local producers and producers. Then you have to attain for minimum 3 years to be an owner of the restaurant, which is now my mother. But when she comes to 50 years of age, she will be a honorary member of the JRE family. So then I'm coming on her place.
Yes, there are young chefs inside till 42 years
Yes,
old.
42, and
Yeah.
after 50, you are the honorary member.
Okay, now we have prepared something special today. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
Since this is a lunchtime and we are all hungry, of course, can't wait to cook something, and that is what you will be doing. Please join me
Yes.
in our studio, and you will tell us what we'll be making today.
Yeah, I've prepared some a dish or a sandwich, as you wish to call it, which you can also prepare at home.
Okay.
And then take it with you to the office.
Okay, great.
It's a very easy, very wonderful recipe. It's an old recipe from the dough, and then I implemented some new modern pickled stuffs or the new way of preparing this dish. Actually, this dough was
It's fresh. You
yeah.
have made it specially for
I made
this
it in
occasion?
advance because
Okay.
you have to make this dough that it has to rise for about 1 to 2 hours. So we
Okay.
don't have this time.
Okay.
So I have already made it.
So it's a beautiful dough.
Yes, it's
Oh.
a dough from yogurt, some flour, yeast, an egg, and normally this recipe it's called langas. This bread, it comes from Hungary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Langas.
Yeah, and actually it's made from potatoes, but we tried some new recipe and we make it with yogurt.
Okay.
It's much lighter bread.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, you flour your hands so that the dough is not too sticky.
Okay. I will leave you to it. You can just explain
You can also
it.
help me if you want to.
Really? Well, I know you washed your hands. I didn't before, so I wouldn't.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
because I was shaking hands, and
Sure do.
But I will gladly try it later.
Yeah.
I will eat
So
it.
we
And
try if the oil is already hot enough.
okay,
It's
so you
not.
put a little flour in it.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, this let's call it sandwich.
Yeah.
Langer sandwich.
Langer sandwich.
It's very easy to make. You can prepare it in advance. It's a wonderful taste. It's light, although it's fried, but it's light.
Okay.
We can forget about the frying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we wait that the oil will be hot enough.
And then you put it in the oil. And how long do you boil it?
Well, I boil it since we have now a sandwich. I boil it for about 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, very quick.
Yeah, and we have to put some
Stir it a
oil
little,
in
yeah.
it because then the dough rises,
Oh.
and then we can cut it through and make it a sandwich.
Oh my God, this will be great.
Yeah.
This will
So
be
the
good.
ingredients are our homemade ham, which I made with my father in the
Okay.
winter. Here is spinach. This smoked ham is called tunka. It's smoked and cured for 2 weeks and
Okay.
then smoked for another 4 hours. Then we have some goat's cheese, some pickled red onions. Then we have wild garlic tips, which
Oh,
are
really?
which are
They
also
look
pickled.
great.
Then we have hemp seeds.
Okay.
And we have some tomato and the yogurt, of course. So I think now it's gonna be hot enough.
Okay. I will be helping you later when we will put the
When we will
ingredients.
eat it, right?
There's no problem with that. I'm the first one. But I can also put some ingredients on with the spoon, so there's no problem with
All
that.
right,
Okay.
all right.
Okay. And we boil both of them, or just
We're
one?
gonna make just one.
Okay, one.
Yeah.
Then later.
And then later, yeah.
we can try to make another one.
Yeah. So it's also very fun way to do some sandwich. Not just cut the bread through and make some sandwich. You can make also something.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we're doing this, when we're talking about the food in your restaurant, what if I come to your restaurant? I was there already, and it's great.
Okay.
But what experience? I mean, what can I eat? What would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend if you really want to try some prekmurje dish
Yeah.
from our region, you have to try bograj, of course, which we are really famous for.
There are more kinds of meat in it, right?
Yeah, there is deer, there is beef, and there is pork meat.
Okay.
And for dessert, I would recommend you prekmurska gibanica.
Yes.
That's Overmura moving cake in English. It's a very funny name,
Yes,
but
it is.
if you translated it like this, yeah. Yeah, it's actually a pastry made of cottage cheese, made of mak. Kako že? Mak.
Mak, oh, I don't know. Does anybody know how we say mak in English? Is this black thing?
Poppy
they-
seeds.
Poppy
Poppy
seeds.
seeds.
Yeah, right, poppy seeds.
Yeah.
They're also in soaps. Oh my God, yes, I remember it now.
we'll know now. Yeah.
Poppy seeds, yeah.
And apples.
Okay.
It has 16 layers. It's kind of, it's not really light pastry, but it tastes very good.
Yes, I know. It's great. So that is something that you have to try if you
Yeah.
come to Rajh restaurant.
So as you see, I put some oil on the
It's
dough.
raising.
Yeah, because it has to rise, so
Yeah.
that we can make some sandwich.
So we can see how light it is.
Yeah, you see there is already a little bit brown.
I really like ganache, you know. I was trying it when I was at your village.
Also, it's very interesting. There are a lot of village events, for example, in our region,
Yeah.
like fire department parties and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And they make it with they make this dough and fry it, and then they put some garlic on it, and then they eat it.
That's basic,
That's-
right?
yeah,
Just putting the
that's
garlic.
basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basic is with potatoes recipe.
It tastes great.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
now
God.
it's done.
Okay.
We move it here.
So we have bread prepared,
Yep.
ganache.
Langash.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So we cut through
Yeah.
like this.
Langash.
Then we open it a little bit. So then we can put some ingredients in it,
Yeah. Also, you do it like a.
like a pita bread.
Yeah. Really.
Kind of, yeah. We do it like this. So now we put some yogurt in it.
Okay.
Cut it
We're
like
all
this.
really hungry here. I see that. Oh my God.
Then we put some ham on it. The homemade ham.
Okay.
As you can also smell, it smells smoked.
Yes, it does.
Some chives.
Okay.
Then I put some goat cheese in it. It's also from our local farmer. If you are in our restaurant, you can kindly ask our staff member or service member and to ask where this ingredient comes from, and he will kindly tell you. 90% of our ingredients are from local, regional products.
That's great.
So now I put some hemp seeds on it, pickled red onions, some wild garlic tips.
It's amazing what can we put in a sandwich and we're never thinking about it, you know? You just put sausages, we put cheese in it, then maybe some pickles and maybe some tomatoes, but we can do so many things.
Yeah,
in a
tomatoes. I
sandwich.
choose that why because there is a very good farm which produces tomatoes. It's called Lust.
Yes,
If you know it.
local, yes, of course I know it.
And the end, some kren.
Yeah.
And now we have some sandwich, longer sandwich, and some spinach.
So spinach comes in it?
Yeah. And if you cut it this in half,
Okay.
we can see all the layers.
Oh
And
my
we can
God,
eat it.
it looks amazing. Now, I would, Diane and Urban, if anyone would like to join just to try this sandwich, you are very welcome, you know, because I sure will try it. Tell me just, talking about healthy food, you know, we're putting so much interest in healthy food, eating healthy, but there is still tradition and healthy, they do not always combine.
That's right.
Yeah.
We try to be focused on some
Please.
the recipes which are from my grandmother, which are not light, but at least I try to make them lighter.
Yeah.
We don't want to go too far out of our region.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Now Urban will be the one tasting it, trying it.
I still have some job to do, so hopefully it has no alcohol in it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Fantastic.
I was just thinking what Miss Simona said earlier to me, because I cannot speak and I cannot eat, so you will be doing the eating and I will be doing the talking, okay?
All right. And Diane will do the drinking.
It comes a little later, but about drinking, you know, combining food pairing, you know, with real wine, of course you have some experience there too.
Yeah, sure. You can combine, for example, this langosh sandwich. You can combine it with some white wine, some light, sour, a little bit sour wine, which has not too much alcohol in it. It has to be a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Urban, you can be excused because I know that you will have.
Thank you.
You will be announcing the
I
next.
got what I wanted. So
Yes, you have. So thank you very much. Get ready, please, to tell us what is awaiting us in the next 2 hours. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, talking about your experience, you know, as a young man coming to the kitchen. I know you didn't work. That was not the first place you worked. I was looking a little through your and where did you gain experience?
Yeah, when I was 14 years old, I decided to go to Austria to learn some language, German language,
Okay.
And to go out of my home environment, to gain a lot of experiences. So that's why I went to the school, in tourism school in Bad Gleichenberg.
Yeah.
It's 1 hour from us. And then after 5 years, when I finished the school, I went to Vienna.
Okay.
Where I worked in Starek, which has 2 Michelin restaurants, 2 Michelin stars.
Stars, yeah.
Yeah, and at some Mediterranean restaurant called Fabio's, which is also very renowned in Austria.
You're in this Michelin's guide. Maybe the next goal is to get a Michelin star. Are you thinking about that?
Let's give some time.
Yes, okay. Now, just to have a question for you, because you're an expert on this. There's some conversation going on about Michelin on one hand, and then going beyond the other, and talking about which is more important, where to be, which means more recognized we are, or on the map of the great restaurants. What is more important to you?
For me, the more important part is not these 2 guides, but that when a guest comes to us, he feels good, he feels satisfied, and then goes home. And then if he comes second or third or maybe more times to our place, that's more. That makes me more happy than the guide. But the guide comes on the other side also, which gives us, our restaurant, a new way of representing us.
Yeah, there was this crazy COVID time. We all had to manage in business, and especially in restaurants. You were practically cut out of business and not doing anything. And now it's all coming back, thank God for that. What did you do in this time between? How did you use that time?
Yeah, we didn't laid around a lot. We actually renovated our restaurant for the first time. For the first time, we already renovated it, but we renovated the whole house now, the whole facade, the new windows. So we went full green. Energy now consumption, solar panels and other stuff. We also renovated our terrace and the new room where we will have new guests arriving. I hope so soon.
This is great, you know, just using the time for doing something that is useful for the restaurant in the future, of course. I was a part of an event that we had at your house when we were pairing wine, that was sparkling wine, and your great food. And this is something that a cook and someone who is a wine expert must really combine together. And that was a great experience, just working with sparkling wines. Are you planning such events maybe in advance?
Yes, I hope so. It will be very soon. I also plan to do some schooling for the younger kids till the age of 10 or 12, where we will cook some easy recipes and make fun that I show the kids that the cooking is fun and relaxing and that they don't have to be afraid of anything.
Okay, just to ask the question, because you're the chef now there, is it you? Are you the one who says, this is what we'll be cooking, this is what our guests will be eating?
No, we are family-owned restaurant. We are a team, a family team. My grandfather, my mother, my father, my sister, and me. I usually design new plates, but we always try the plates ourselves first, all of the family, and then decide, okay, maybe take this away, or maybe add some new thing to make it lighter and fresher.
Okay.
So we all decide for everything. It's not just me. It's family. Yeah.
That's great. That's something special about your restaurant and your kitchen. Thank you very much, Leon, for being with us.
Thank you.
I will eat this special sandwich now. Thank you. I will enjoy it really. And we will go back to Urban and Diane, and they're ready for the next session, the next part of the program. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Anita. Really, I think that the entire studio just smells like really nice food. And Urban had to try some. I haven't, so I'm getting really hungry right now.
But I know you can, push your hunger a little bit down since your favorite panel is in front of us, right?
Yes, I'm sure I can probably forget about it for another hour, so no worries.
So corporate venturing is your passion. We've been talking, on and on about it. So why do you think it's so hot at the moment, the corporate venturing, as a way for collaboration,
I mean, I think, and by all means, I'm not an expert, the same as the people we had on the panel yesterday. Also, I haven't had the chance to probably introduce what we do at Rajh or what I do outside of Podim when I'm not presenting and having a lot of fun here with you guys. My background, it's in marketing. I'm a marketeer, but I focused a lot on working with startups, working in startup accelerators and corporate innovation companies, as well as venture builders. So I've been exposed, and I've always I've sat at the intersection between large corporations and startups. Always actually worked outside of the region. So for the last 7 years, I've spent most of my work experience in London. I had the chance to be part of an accelerator program in Qatar, which really opened my eyes in terms of how to run an accelerator program, as well as the culture and the startups you have there, the ecosystem, very nascent compared to obviously London. I had spent some time in the US, which completely different kettle of fish, in Austin, Texas, which is a growing ecosystem. So you've seen different ecosystems at different levels, and then you have Central Eastern Europe, which is definitely growing very rapidly. And for the last year or so, I've looked more towards Romania, Poland, as well as the region. And together with my business partner, what we're trying to do at Rajh is to create a new model for entrepreneurship. And how we started, it's simply as any other entrepreneur would probably start their company. What are the challenges we see in this market? On one hand, we have really amazing startups, as also we've covered in other panels. But unfortunately, the failure rate is still very high. And then when you actually dig deeper, why is that happening? On one hand, you have marketing knowledge that has been addressed on some panels, the power to commercialize those ideas to market. But on one other hand, it's about funding. It's about the support that a startup at a young stage they need. It's raising funds, it's having the marketing expertise, it's having the design, all the support elements that a CEO and a CTO should have to take that startup further to market. And on the other hand, you have all these really large corporations sitting on vast resources. But unfortunately, the picture actually is not that great either. A lot of the companies, the lifespan is shortening. They've done a lot of R&D. They've done a lot of M&A, which are really great sources of transformation. And they're really great for this kind of incremental, as we call it in this business word, innovation. But to actually go forward, to try to become and stay relevant, to get a competitive advantage, and to also help the ecosystem and the startups grow, I think there's a need for another model. There's a need for another way of collaborating, and that's what we call essentially a venture building studio. How we're doing this and why the approach is quite different, and I'm really looking forward to having this chat with Peter because he's talking about university studios or university spin-outs, which very much actually resemble the venture studio model, which started actually with Idea Lab. The way we do this, we partner with corporations and entrepreneurs from the market at a very early stage when it's only an idea to try to validate the concept, scale it, co-invest, and build out venture externally from the corporate partner. So you asked me what is corporate venturing. It's a very general term. It covers from M&A, it covers from R&D, it covers from corporate startup engagement. It also covers this external venture building model. I think there's a lot of interesting, innovation models ahead of us. If you ask me, out of all of this, and also CVC, if I haven't mentioned, which is rising as well, I think out of all of this, the bottom line is that yes, incremental innovation, corporate startup engagements are great for supporting the ecosystem and for exposing yourself to that startup mindset as a corporate. If you want to go forward, I think external venture building might be the way to go. But I'm biased. Perhaps I'm biased and I've been talking too much. Maybe we can go to...
And I'm sure, you did a great introduction already of this program lot
we do have loads of speakers touching on that
I think
subject.
Stoyan is with us. Stoyan, before we go to Peter in corporate venturing, Stoyan, what is happening on your stage?
In our stage, hey guys, how are you doing? On our stage, we have an old friend of Podim joining us, somebody with lots of experience, Francois Mazoudir. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but basically we will be talking about how to effectively raise funds, things that investors will never tell you. And this guy has a lot to share because he's been in the business for over 20 years now. He's been building 8 tech companies from startup to IPO, so definitely tons of lessons to be shared in this area.
So if you are startup raising funds, that's the studio to go. Thanks, Stoyan. Looking forward for our stream. Moving on to Peter. Hey.
Hi. It smells. I can just, as you spoke about the smells in your studio. Although I can't physically smell them, but I can kind of sense how that must smell. We have a nice fragrance in here with me and my team, but maybe not as good as yours. But I can just feel it through the screen there.
So what is happening? So Diana already made like a short introduction about the corporate startups, how to panel. What's next? What's additional to that?
Yeah, I mean, but with that, basically right now, just coming up very shortly, how to set up a corporate startup. Again, questions on that. You'll be able to hear the answers from a gentleman called Bart Huben. He's going to give us all his insights and views on that. And then a little bit later on, we move on to that real panel, all about experience in running a corporate startup. So it's going to be productive, it's going to be intriguing, and I'm sure lots of people are going to get some great ideas, as Diana certainly will as well.
Fantastic, Peter. Looking forward.
Me too.
Daniel, how smart is your city?
Could be smarter, smart-ish. But I'll actually find out how smart this city is when the next 2 hours we've got anything smart city, every angle, every aspect, and we'll end up with a panel. And yeah, very much looking forward to it. And I very much also enjoyed Diana's pitch. That was very, very interesting. It sounded a bit like ambidextrous organizational design. If that kind of is the direction you're going, I think it is.
I would love to take that offline, Daniel, and have a separate conversation.
So would I. Let's do that.
Too.
We should do that. Let's set up a call in the next couple of days. That would be fun. Anyhow, we'll be talking smart cities. And my first speaker is the most amazing name ever as a smart city expert. His name is called Lorenzo Madrid. I mean, come on, that's like the best name ever if you're an expert in smart cities. Lorenzo Madrid. I hope I don't offend them, but it's fantastic. Anyhow, that's what's going to happen. And yeah, looking forward to that.
Looking forward. So you have some minutes to prepare. Exciting panel. So I know already your choice where you will spend the next at least an hour. In which panel?
Yeah, certainly, but also changing hats and, as I said, talking to Peter. So anyone that would like to actually not just dive into the knowledge transfer, but learn more from his experience as an entrepreneur, investor, advisor, we have a chat with Peter Cowley at 3:50 p.m. local time.
This will be amazing. Can't wait also for this deep dive. Peter is like a diamond, and he has got so much.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades.
Yeah. So it will be really amazing. Again, looking forward to next 2 hours. I finished my sandwich. This is the first thing I will do.
I'm going to grab one as well.
Yeah, so finish my sandwich and then proceed to watching the interesting sessions in our Tandify app. So looking forward, and
we'll see you in a couple of hours.